A year ago, I broke up with the iPhone after a decade together. And I really thought I stepped into a new era and I finally found my forever phone in the Samsung S24 Ultra. But having been away for so long, I've realized a few things. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the truth of owning an Android phone and why I just might be going back to the iPhone. Okay, so let's go back a bit. I've always been somewhat of an Apple fanboy since, I don't know, since maybe like the iPhone 4. I had the iPhone 4, then I had the iPhone 5C, iPhone 5, iPhone 6S, iPhone 10R, iPhone 13 Pro, and iPhone started to get a bit boring around that time. But then I got the iPhone 16 Pro thinking, yeah, it's time to level up or get the latest iPhone, and I'm going to be getting the Apple Intelligence. But after getting the 16 Pro, I realized it was really boring. There was nothing major change. Like, there was no major change. And the Apple Intelligence, Apple kept saying is coming next year or coming in a few months. So I decided, you know what? Within this year, I'm going to switch to Android. And if I like it more, I'm going to stay on Android. So the best way is to choose the best Android, right? And I chose the Samsung S24 Ultra, the phone I'm currently using right now. And to be honest, I really enjoy this phone. I love it. But there's a few things that Samsung just didn't get right for me. But before I go into the negatives, and before I talk about why I'm thinking about switching back, let me talk about what Samsung got right. So the first thing to talk about with the Samsung is the screen quality and the refresh rate. So the Samsung comes in Quad HD, FHD, and HD. And being able to go to Quad HD, which is basically like 4K on my phone, is simply amazing. Like, I'm watching content, videos that is on YouTube and looking at Instagram, and I've never experienced such clarity within the videos and the photos. When switching from the 13 to the 16 and then to the Samsung, I realized like the colors on the Samsung were way more vibrant. I did turn it on in the settings, of course, but it had a much more pop to it. I was looking on photos of celebrities on Instagram and I was watching videos. I was basically like rewatching videos, and I saw more dynamic range within the colors of the content, I guess. So that straight away, I was like, wow, Samsung is out of this world crazy when it comes to their screen technology. And then when it comes to gaming performance, for example now, so my 13 Pro, I realized, was starting to die faster. And obviously this is a much bigger phone, so this has a better battery life. The fast charging to me is actually much better on this. Well, the 13 Pro did have fast charging, I'm not even sure, but the fast charging on this is actually amazing. And I just like the fact that the UI tells you when I'm like plugged in, it tells me, okay, my battery life will take X amount of time and it's using fast charging. Like, that is really good. When it comes to watching movies, watching anime, like being able to just sit back, have it on my phone and just enjoy the content there, love it. And another thing that I really enjoy with the Samsung, which I thought Apple was lacking, is being able to customize the phone, right? Customize meaning I'm able to change how I want my apps to open, how fast I want them to open. I have the developer options and settings on the Samsung, which Apple doesn't have. I also have the S Pen on the phone. I mean, to be honest, I don't really use it as much, but still, when I'm doing like my edits for my photos, I have Lightroom on my phone. The screen is big enough, and then I'm like editing, and it looks really nice. The other thing that is completely different and was a bit refreshing was the on-screen fingerprint sensor. So boom, just pressing the screen, it would open. That was really amazing, and obviously it's much faster than Face ID. And one thing I kind of forgot is that Samsung also has Face ID. I don't use it as often, but if my hands are a bit wet, then I can just double tap my screen and then Face ID opens the phone. I like the UI. I like the little circular motion when it comes up on the camera. I just really enjoy the UI. Like I think it's not as clean as like the Apple, for example, but it's just refreshing, especially when I was stuck in the Apple ecosystem for so long. Everything, I guess, got a bit boring, right? And Samsung and Android just opened a different world for me, and I'm able to like download apps straight from the browser rather than going through like the Play Store, for example. It's just those extra things that was quite nice. And then the other thing, being an Android, was that it opened my mind to different things. So, for example, I'd have my iPhone, right? And if I have an iPhone, I'm gonna have an Apple Watch. I'm gonna have AirPods. I'm gonna have a MacBook. I'm gonna have an iPad. But when you have Android, I feel like the possibilities are way more. What did I do? Okay, so sorry, I'm turning to my current earbuds. So I have the Nothing Pro. Is it Nothing Pro? Or I think it's Nothing Air 2, something like that. So I have these earphones because why not? Why not try something different? I have different headsets. Like why not try something else? And then instead of having an Apple Watch, I had like a Whoop band, which was really cool. Like it just opened your possibility to try different things. And to be honest, all of this stemmed from building my gaming PC. I sold my MacBook, built my gaming PC, and I was like, why not just try other things? And then I got the idea of why not just sell my 16 Pro if I'm bored with it. And I did it. But almost a year later, and having the Samsung and having the Android stuff in my life, I've come to really miss Apple and miss the iPhone. I have an iPad, with Apple Pencil and stuff, and just using back the Apple ecosystem again. You kind of remember like how clean everything is, how polished everything is, and to be honest, I kind of miss that. So yeah, I am thinking about switching again. There is like a few things that like really annoy me about my S24. Like there's so many things that I tried to record to show you guys, but it's not even coming up. There's many times like I press WhatsApp to open, and I have to press WhatsApp like 3 times and then it opens. There's sometimes I'm like my finger touches my screen for a bit too long, and then it tries to like customize my lock screen on my home screen, and the phone completely just freezes. Like, don't even get me started when it comes to Instagram, TikTok, and just social media in general. These phones aren't optimized properly when it comes to those things compared to the iPhone or compared to other products from Apple. When it comes to the camera quality, I might get hate for this one, but it's kind of trash. It is kind of trash. Like when it comes to taking photos of people and taking videos of people, it's not that good. When it comes to taking landscape photos and taking photos of buildings and just the surroundings, amazing stuff. But if I take a selfie, I hate that selfie. If I use the back camera and take a photo of myself, I hate that photo. I'm literally like borrowing my girlfriend's phone, 13 Pro, which is the old 13 Pro that I gave her, and I'm using that phone to take selfies instead. I'm using that phone to take photos of myself instead. Like, the camera quality when it comes to people just isn't it. And I thought that it would be much closer, and to be honest, it just isn't. And I keep watching these like comparison videos when it comes to camera quality, and in real world use, it's just nowhere close. But I know it is really my preference compared to someone else's preference, and I prefer iPhone photos, and that's huge for me because one of the things I do is I take photos. You know what I mean? Like that is a part of my work. And to not have confidence in my phone is a huge thing when it comes to taking photos. So yeah, that's one of the main things. And like I said, just the polish of iOS compared to Android, like I'm actually like looking forward to going back into that. And yes, I'm able to use other devices, but to be honest, nothing feels as good in terms of like product quality and listening quality if it comes to like AirPods, for example, to AirPods. The Nothing is quite nice, but I do get a lot of feedback from these headphones, and there's times when I'm like walking with them in my ears, and if it gets a bit windy, it's like the earphones kind of like change frequency a bit. And yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Like nothing feels cohesive. I think that's the word. And I think the type of person I am, I prefer when things are quite smooth, maybe. And I like being able to like customize the phone, but I'm not realizing I'm probably a bit more minimalist. So yes, I enjoyed the Samsung, but I definitely do think I am gonna be switching back to the iPhone, especially when the iPhone 17 comes out. I think I'm trying to think like, what do I want? 17 or 17 Pro Max? And I think I might go back to the smaller phone, especially when it comes to like having this phone in my pocket. I mean, now these days I'm wearing like baggier clothing, just kind of fine, but there's some clothing I put my phone in and it just like sticks out or it falls out the pocket. And I'm realizing, yeah, I kind of want back this regular Pro phone. With all that being said, I do thank the Samsung and I do thank the Android community, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have opened my mind and see different perspectives. I wouldn't have dived in and tried new things. And there's quite a lot of things like I really enjoy about this phone. You know, the same stuff I said earlier, and being able to like experience both ecosystems is such a benefit. So I guess if I was to recommend choosing between iOS or Android, or choosing between an iPhone and a Samsung, if you're on the fence and thinking my iPhone is boring, switch to Samsung. Like, just go for it. And I think enjoy the phone for 8 months to a year. And if you decide to switch back, and just don't feel guilty about it. You know, like you gave it a fair shot. I gave it a fair shot. And yeah, I am thinking about switching back. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like and subscribe. When I get a new iPhone, I'm going to be making videos about that. I'm going to be unboxing that. So yeah, and obviously if you did the same as me, switch from iPhone to Samsung last year on the iPhone 16 Pro drop, what's your experience? Are you sticking to your Samsung? Are you sticking to your Android, Google? I don't know. Or are you thinking about switching back to the iPhone just like me? I think I actually forgot to say is Samsung is cheap. If you buy a used Samsung, it's way cheaper than buying a used iPhone. And the accessories are also cheap. I got like a official Samsung case. I think I paid like 25 maybe, or maybe like 30. An official iPhone case, about £50. Yeah. So there's quite a few things. You know, accessories are also much cheaper. So consider that if you want to think about switching or staying. So yeah, but like I said before, thank you for watching. My name is Trey. On the channel I make tech videos, a bit of photography stuff, and a bit of lifestyle. So if you like this video and you want to look forward to seeing new videos, I know I've been away for a little while, trying to come back, trying to come strong, make some new stuff for you guys. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Okay, see you later.